Hey, Howard Jacobson here with a thought about New Year's resolutions. It is now January 1st, 2013, and a lot of people are setting resolutions for this year, and according to lots of studies, most people will fail. And there's nothing wrong with going for it and failing. I mean, that's the nature of human endeavor. If we only go for things we know we'll succeed at, then we'll be playing it pretty safe and we're not going to accomplish anything wonderful, right? The trouble is that when we fail at New Year's resolutions, what happens is it reinforces our negative expectations going forward. So next year we'll do the resolutions because everybody does it, we'll have some hope, but deep down we'll think, nah, this isn't going to work. We're not going to make this happen. So I want to offer you today two thoughts and a plan for New Year's resolutions that will actually work. So the first thought is the concept of the Keystone Habit. The Keystone Habit is a concept that I got from a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And basically a keystone habit is a small change in your routine that can be built upon to create much bigger changes. So an example of a keystone habit that's often given is exercise. If you start exercising, then lots of other things can start falling into place as you get more energy, as you feel better, as you develop a sense of competence about your ability to keep exercising. And so that becomes something you build on. So rather than trying to build the entire structure of your life the way you want it from day one, you start small with a single habit that you can then build on to create other habits. And so an example of that, exercise, an example that I'm building into my day is something I got from my friend Peter Bregman's book, 18 Minutes, which is a 1-minute pause every hour in which I simply stop for 1 minute, I set a little alarm, and I close my eyes and I relax, take some deep breaths, become body aware, and then ask myself two questions. Did I spend the last hour the way I wanted to? And what am I going to do in this next hour to let it express what I want to accomplish in my life? And I do that once an hour, so about 8-10 times during the workday, and that becomes a keystone habit that I can then build on. So the second concept is that of small victories. So very often, if we want to set up a new habit, a new routine in our life, we want to make a New Year's resolution, we go big, we swing for the fences. We say, I am going to meditate for 2 hours in the morning. I am going to completely change my diet and go raw vegan. I am going to exercise at the gym an hour a day. I am going to completely stop yelling at my kids. I'm going to give up smoking. And we go for things that are really, really big. Now, sometimes it makes sense to just make a huge change, especially if there's something behind it. Like, if one day you wake up and you have a revelation and you're suddenly not a smoker anymore, then certainly you don't want to go from 4 packs down to 3.5. If you feel that something deep inside of you has shifted, then go for it as much as you want. But for most of us, the desire to quit something or desire to change something or desire to add something is not yet backed up by an identity that can support it. So instead of going for whole hog, what we want to do is create a keystone habit that's so easy, you simply can't fail. So an example is, can I take 1 minute every hour, close my eyes, and reflect on the past hour and plan the next hour? Absolutely. No question. I can even set up a kitchen timer here, and in 1 hour, it'll ding, and no matter what I'm doing, I can simply just take that minute. Even if I'm on the phone with someone, I could say, could you hold on a second? Or a minute, if I want to be literal. Okay, so I'm going to stop the dinging now. Believe me, that gets my attention. So another example of a keystone habit would be exercise for 2 minutes every day. Maybe just, 5 knee push-ups. Maybe just a minute of squats and a minute of standing mountain, a yoga pose. Maybe you want to meditate. Maybe you want to start meditating. So meditate for 30 seconds a day. If you like it, if you feel good, believe me, if you, after a crazy day, if you want to sit down and just close your eyes and relax for 30 seconds, do you think you'll want to do it for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes? So let yourself gradually grow into the goals. But what we're doing is we're getting some small victories. So for your New Year's resolution, instead of taking a bunch of things, you can have all your list, but let's choose one that you think can become a keystone habit, something that can then reinforce everything else you want to do. For me, the minute is good because it's about awareness, so it gives me leverage over the other choices that I'm making. For people, some people, exercise is really good. For a lot of people, the best thing you can do is start the day with 1 or 2 cups of water so you don't spend half your morning dehydrated. So whatever feels like it's going to be really high leverage and can contribute to something else, and you can make it so easy that there's no way you can fail. So go forth, make 2013 your best year ever. That's all for me. Talk to you next time.